Make sure you use the mic.
Doreen J. Schindel of Doreen J. Schindel and Associates. Do you have the spelling? Okay.
Okay. And your address.
199 East Main Street, Smithtown, New York, 11787.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Members of the board, Madam Chairman, I'm here on behalf of my client. I represent him in opposition of the General Properties LCC modification. I'm at a disadvantage, and I was just contacted hours ago, so I haven't seen the actual plans. But in terms of its relevancy with the law, I will try to explain why this needs to be denied. According to Section 32281 of the zoning Smithtown Code, and specifically I am referring to B9, it requires that adequate buffer yards and screening are provided where necessary to protect adjacent properties and land uses. It then goes on to Section 32282C3 that parking in a residence district adjacent to and for use located in a business or industrial district, the following requirements shall be met. And then on subsection C, it says the parking shall not extend more than 50 feet into the residential district. Now, that is just one section of the special exceptions that specifically states that these conditions must be met. The board recommended these conditions. These conditions are codified in New York zoning law, Section 2415, that says a Board of Zoning Appeals has no legislative authority. Accordingly, it may not issue special permits other than those specifically authorized by the ordinance. A board may not, for example, grant a special permit to extend cabanas, bathhouses, and parking, tennis, and swimming facilities of a beach club into a restrictive residential district under the guise of permitting a clubhouse which would occupy an insignificant portion of the land. A commercial use of land for a bowling alley, restaurant, and bar may not be permitted to extend from 1.5% of land in a commercial district to occupy 98.5% of land in a residential district where the ordinance does not allow the extension of use into a more restrictive district if a major fraction of use will extend into the more restrictive zone. A Board of Zoning Appeals may not, of course, grant a special permit unless the applicant has demonstrated his compliance with the conditions imposed by the ordinance, and the board must make such findings as the terms of the ordinance requires. I have a Court of Appeals case.
You know what? Why don't you take the mic out, because if you're
Sure.
going to, all right, would that be easier for you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have both a Supreme Court Appellate Division case and a Court of Appeals case that basically says failure to meet any one of the conditions set forth in the zoning ordinance is sufficient basis upon which zoning authority may deny application for special exception permit. What Mr. Denicola is proposing is a variance. That is not the same as a special condition. He is asking for a variance. That is separate and apart from a special change. The requirements for each are different, and he knows that, and he's trying to change his request from a special condition to a variance, and he's not permitted by the Court of Appeals to do that. As far as him saying that it existed for 42 years, I don't know that he has any proof of that. My understanding from my client is that he rents that space out, the owner rents that space out to 3 other companies that use that space to park the trucking. He simply can not rent the space out, and he'd have enough room to turn the truck around. Regardless of whether he can turn the truck around, the law says that he must meet the special conditions that the board sets forth, which is in the zoning law. It's here. If he can't meet the special conditions, then what he needs to do is withdraw his application and apply for a variance. And not having the opportunity to review his plans, and literally hours ago I was just contacted, all I can bring to you is the case law, the zoning law, and the New York State law that governs it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Huh? I don't know. Do you want to tell me what those cases are?
Oh, absolutely. I'll submit them to you if you'd like.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
I apologize for my attire. I was lost.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Come up.
Save the best for last.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's only one opinion.
Let me have your name, please.
My name is Bernard Quinn, 20 Pin Oak Lane, St. James.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do. I'm here today in reference to General looking to have one of your conditions waived on the March 23rd meeting that you had here. They came here looking for 11 requests. They were granted 11 requests with some conditions, and the board generously gave them all 11 requests. Now, they're coming to the board again, and they're saying, well, okay, thank you for those requests, but you know what, now we want to get one of those, one of the conditions taken off from the request, and that condition is no structures, parking, or storage shall be permitted in the residence district. If that is taken away, that is telling them that they can, from here on end, park in that residence district, and if you take that, that's what they're going to do. Right now, they're just saying, okay, we just want this little piece of the pie here. You can't slice out a piece of the pie because it wasn't even monitored that they were parking 100 feet from the residential area to begin with, because they were within 60 feet for years and years. He's saying they're parking the trucks there for 40.
Address this board, no one else.
Oh, they're saying they're parking the trucks there for 46 years. Since 1984, there was a BZA hearing that said that they weren't allowed to park the trucks from 100 feet from the property line. Now we want to carve out this little piece of property and say, all right, we're just going to park here. If you couldn't monitor 100 feet, how are you going to monitor this little pie that he wants to cut out to say we're going to park there? So I'm totally against this. I feel once you give somebody an inch, they're going to take a yard. And basically, it seems like if at first you don't succeed, try again. They keep coming here and they want to badger this whole, they just want to they want to pound this into the ground till they get what they want. They're not going to give up. So it's got to be confirmed, no, that's it, and done. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Mr. DiNicola, I'll give you an opportunity to answer some of these concerns.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board. First off, with reference to Mr. Quinn, I believe he owns the St. James Storage right across the street, which is industrial property. I don't know how he would be affected. However, that is his position, which he has indicated. We are not asking for a waiver of the condition. We are asking for a slight modification. If you note the grade differences in the property, there's a high plateau part, and then there is a low part to the north and to the west. The applicant is not looking to park in the residential district. It is looking to park in its entirety. It is looking to park in a portion of the upland area, which is approximately 5.8% of the residential R21 area, which runs from east to west through the applicant's property, and it is an upland piece. There is the masonry wall. It can be monitored. You have the driveway to the east. You cannot park anywhere else except in this upland portion of the residential area unless you want the trucks to go down into a ravine. It is a simple request for an efficient operation. If not, he's going to have my client's going to have a problem bringing the trucks in to the filler. It's just a matter of having a 25-foot truck make a turn into the property. Now, so the application before the board this evening is really insubstantial, and probably I would make just a guesstimate that maybe it should have been considered before, so that that upland area could be continued to be used as it has been for 42 years. Now, with reference to counsel's argument that you cannot grant variances based on a special exception, the answer is yes, you can. There's a Court of Appeals case on it. I believe it's real holding. Ms. Manzo may know the case off the top of her head. However, the Court of Appeals has indicated that, yes, a Board of Appeals may grant a variance in conjunction with a special exception use, even where the special exception use has specific conditions. So this board has absolute authority to grant the applicant's request. It is insubstantial, it is minor, it is 2,200 square feet, it can be well monitored based on the geography of the site, and I would respectfully request that the application be granted. The opposition, at the very most, is specious.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved. Second.
It's ready, moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. That concludes our hearings for tonight.